Let's see it that way. Hey, greetings fellow woodworkers and makers of great things. Welcome to my shop. Today I'm going to take you on a little project with me. A little bit of woodworking, a little bit of finished carpentry, a little bit of electrical work. I am mounting exterior lights, and I was very frustrated with the available products for mounting flush exterior lights on a surface with vinyl siding. The choices are very limited and the products out there were very hokey, so I invented my own solution and built it right here in the shop. So let's take a walk outside, take a look at what we're looking at, and see if we can't come up with a better way to build a mounting surface for an exterior light in a vinyl siding application. Let's get going. Well, here's a typical exterior light fixture installation. This is the way the builder did it. Just a pancake box on the underlayment there, and then a hole cut in the siding and mount a light. And I think you can see from the witness marks from the old light that light just mounted directly against the vinyl siding. So all this gap area was exposed to moisture, bugs. I've already cleaned out mostly, but you can still see some spider sac, egg sacs in there, and a bunch of other junk. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim that up a little bit, and let me see if I could show you what I'm talking about. I think you can see here, if we mount this light against the siding in any orientation, it's not going to lay flat. There's going to be openings, and that is for this type of siding, as well as simulated clapboard siding. You're going to have these gaps, so you want something to flatten out that you can mount this directly against. So what I thought to do was get some of these what they call J boxes. This is made by Uniblock. You can get them at the home centers. You can order them online, and it's a two-piece deal here. I can get it apart. I have to prove that. Yikes, that's tight in there. Alright. So it's a two-piece setup, and it's very hokey. First of all, it's very flimsy. It's very lightweight. But here's what you do to install this. You trace this dimension on your siding, right? Because that's what's going to pop through your siding. But then you have to go up and down your siding and disconnect and loosen 3 or 4 pieces of siding so that you can get this flange slid up under the siding, then let it come out through the hole you cut. Now while it's in there, you've got to bend the siding back again and try to get 3 or 4 screws in here while it's level to hold it to the siding. So I'm going to say difficult installation, especially if it's a little cold and the vinyl is a little hard, and if it's a little old and brittle. I did make a minor crack in a piece when I put the first one up, and not bad. It's okay, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't fun. It wasn't something I wanted to do. So the deal is that once you get this mounted, now the siding's covering this flange now. The only thing protruding is this, right? So now you take this trim piece, and there is a top here. You take this trim piece and you put it on. But the problem I find with that is you still got this. So the siding's in here. You can move this down. It's ratcheted. It will slide down. The whole thing's hokey. I mean, this is... So you could slide this down until it touches the siding, but the idea is you still have the gaps in the siding. So you've got a surface here that's flat. First of all, this is too small for most light fixtures, so if you do press this down, then you lose the coverage that you need for the light fixtures. You can see that is shorter than a light fixture, so now I got an overhang under here and an overhang up here. That I don't want that. So my other alternative was to bring this back up to the flush position like this, and that gives me some coverage, but now I've got an even wider gap along the side. So I mounted that and then put the light on, and then immediately dismounted it and didn't use it. I bought 3 of these. I ruined one, of course, trying to I had to drill holes in it and stuff, but I got 2 to take back now because they're just not. It's just not a great solution, right? So you're either going to flush mount to the siding and leave gaps, or you're going to flush mount to this, and then this is going to leave gaps. You know, it's just a hokey situation. You can seal this. Why is this thing so hard to get off? At least the other one was easier to get off. When this protrudes out through the siding and this is buried behind the siding, you can caulk, so you can prevent the moisture from getting in. The problem is, again, when you put this cover back on, you're going to have that gap there. You actually see the caulk, and it's just going to be a matter of days before, you know, the bugs and the spiders and the dirt and everything get in there, and it's going to look pretty hideous. So we've got a different plan. I came up with something different to do, made something in the shop, and let's go inside. I'll show you what I did and how I made it, and then we'll come back and we'll install what I think is a better solution for flush mounting exterior lights the right way. So let me show you what I came up with to address this issue. I made this box, and it is 1.5 inches deep. It is, oh gosh, what did I make it? 9 1/4 on the height, and 8 on the width, and that'll accommodate the light fixtures I'm using and most light fixtures. And it's simply made from a exterior PVC trim, so it's going to be nice and durable. It's extended around the ends to give you a little room to work in here if you have an irregular wall surface behind it, or if you got to get a wire over to the box. It gives you a little room to play with, and it's got a little chamfer on the top here. I think you can see that. So the water coming down the siding will roll over it, and it's as simple as that. We're going to mount that onto the wall. It's going to tuck in behind the siding 3/4 inch. Give a 3/4 inch reveal, and once you've got it in place, you just take a standard 4-inch octagonal or round box, 1.5 inches deep, and right there you got your mounting screws for the mounting plate for the light, and there you go, you're off and going. So very simple, but very functional, very neat, very clean, extremely durable. Let me show you the material that this is made out of. If I can get the camera over here a little better, we'll try to focus in. It's called AZEK, and it's commonly used for trim, exterior trim. It's made from PVC. It doesn't split, warp, or swell. Mold, mildew resistant, termite resistant, smooth finish on both sides, and it's paintable. So I got it in white. I've got white trim in my house, that's fine. But if you had a different color trim, or you want to do something different with the colors, it's paintable as well. So really cool product, not cheap. 1 by 10 by 8 foot is nearly $60. But you know, you could make probably make 6 or 8 boxes out of this. I don't know. But it's a really neat product, and it's given me ideas to do similar treatment for my exterior outlet boxes, for my exterior vents, anything that's poking out the side of the house through the vinyl siding. It's always difficult to trim that. So this is the stuff I used. That's what it looks like. Let's go put it on the house, see how it mounts. I think you'll be happy with the way it mounts. And then we'll come back in the shop and we'll make one. I'll show you the process for building one of these boxes. All right, let's start by getting rid of this this old box. Try to get this ground wire off.
I didn't mention the power is off. Get the screw the rest of the way out so I'm not fighting the wire. Okay, so there we got that off. Now what we want to do is line up our mounting box. I think I like it right there. Actually it is pretty good there because I'm right on one of these pieces. See where we are for level. Hopefully we're level because we're aligned to our siding. It's just a tad off, so we'll get it there. And we'll mark it. Get in there. Okay, so now we've got our cutout that we need. We can cut that out. I don't want to make it too tight. Aluminum, yeah. Let's go back 30 years. Vinyl siding tends to want to expand and contract. So, just take my oscillating tool here. Okay, now we have our siding cut away. Might have to trim that a little bit yet, but let's take a look and see how it goes. No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Right about what we'd like to see. Alright, so let's get this. Well, let me get a couple of screws started. Okay. Yeah, let me get a hammer. Got a couple of siding nails that are protruding. By the way, this is the problem with the other problem with those plastic trim pieces is that you're going to encounter nails along the way when you're trying to peel back this piece and this piece and this piece and the remainder in here. It's a pain in the butt, especially when you hit nails. what's going on back here? A bunch of nails. Damn it. Well, somebody got nail crazy in that spot. Maybe the siders got paid by the nail, who knows. But we want this box to lay flat, so I'm trying to get it as nice as I can here. Alright. Drop my box. This is why I leave a relief in the back too. At least any obstructions, or many obstructions, can be hidden by that. Alright. Well, that's good right there. By the way, I made these boxes without these screw holes, and then put the light fixture on it to make sure that when everything's mounted, that'll be hidden. We check that again for level. Go over a little bit maybe. I like it. By the way, these are 2.5 inch flathead square drive screws. You just want your box visually centered in the hole. Before you take it to decision how you're going to mount this box, understand the mounting bracket that comes with your light fixture. In my case, there's a screw here and a screw here on the mounting fixture, so you want to get these kind of out of the way, and then that will give you a chance to rotate the fixture to level. Okay, so let me go get that and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. These are the two posts that are going to come out through the light fixture. This is the ring on which you're going to mount the to the box. Let me get these screws out of here. Get this started. This, by the way, is just a silly little electric screwdriver I've had forever. I love to use it when I'm doing electrical work because it spins these screws nice and slow, and you don't have to worry about torque because this thing doesn't have any. And sometimes you get those real long screws, like an outlet screw. It's like an inch and a quarter long, and you're turning forever. All right, so we got that. Now what we want to do is make sure that our posts are level. So the light, let's get these posts until they're straight up and down, like that. Now I can tighten one. Probably move a little. Just a tad. Got that one level. Let me get a handheld more control with this to keep everything still as I take it. Tight, and the posts are level. All right, we're good. And we are ready to mount a light fixture. And technically, I think you're supposed to ground the ground wire to the box separate from the fixture wire, I think. But maybe if there's a electrician out there in the state of New Jersey, they can tell me if I'm violating the codes here. I mean, we're grounded, right? The box, by way of this screw, will be connected to the ground back to the panel. So, in my book, we're grounded. Where's that light fixture? Ground wire, also known as the fixture hanging wire. It's going to be a little tough to do here. If you guys can hold this light for me, it would really help. I'm about out of hands. I'm about out of hands standing sideways on a ladder. What could go wrong? Okay, the box is grounded. The electrical panel, the fixture is grounded to the box. I think we're good. Now we want to take these two wires. They're stranded. I like to give them a couple of twists. Help you out a little bit. And let's get them connected. And we need two wire nuts. Which do I have in my pocket? I have one. That's a start. Whenever I stranded to solid, I like the stranded overhang the solid just a little bit because it's gonna make some wraps and pull. If you like to use those fancy new high-tech fasteners, knock yourself out. I never had a problem with wire nuts myself. Like I said, I never had trouble with wire nuts before. That lead is a little too long. As long as you size your leads properly, I think, and as long as you size your wire nuts properly, they've just always worked for me. And, you know, I've been doing this, I don't know, 40, 50 years, who the hell knows. Did this with my dad when I was a kid. You know, he would have us do all this stuff with him. So, and I've been using wire nuts forever. Can't remember one that I installed that ever failed. I've seen failed wire nuts, but it's usually some hokey, god-awful bad idea somebody had. Alright, so now we want to get our wires tucked into our box. This is why I like to use the 1.5 inch box here and not the pancake box. Your wires should be inside the box like this. They shouldn't be in some air gap between the box and the plate I just put in. right? That. It's just not right. You want to get your wires in your box. And let's get these guys on the post. Easier said than done usually. This guy's in here. Come on, baby. There you go. Now, I do hope I have these in my pocket, and I do. Here's your little screw balls. Hold the fixture too. The box. Okay, get one of them snug. And then get another one. Please don't drop this. There's mulch below me. You know how hard it's going to be to find this little black ball in the mulch if I drop it? They look like that, by the way. Alright, let's start it. Keep the weight off the box and tighten these up by hand. And there we have a pretty nice job, if I do say so myself. I like to take, that's an offset ratcheting screwdriver, which you use maybe once a year, but when you need it, you need it. And that will get me behind this light fixture onto the slots in those screws and just be able to snug them up. This other one right here. Come over from the top maybe, yeah. Again, not a tool you use every day, but sure comes in handy when you need it. All right, let me get my tools out of here. Okay, and there's our installation. Very neat, very well protected. We have a small gap around the box and the siding. You need that so that the siding can expand and contract. This in New Jersey here where I live, you get about 100-degree temperature variation. You drop a bit below zero on the coldest day of the winter, you get a bit above 100 on the hottest day of the summer. So this stuff moves. So what I'll do now is I will tape and caulk that gap around the box. This way it will seal up, but it will still be pliable and flexible. All right, so it's up now. Let's go back in the shop. I'll show you what I did to make these boxes. Okay, here I'm setting up the table saw and the camera to show you the portion where I'm going to cross cut 8 inches off of that 9 1/4 inch wide board to make the plate, and then cut another piece off at about 3 inches, from which I will rip the 1/2 inch by 3/4 inch pieces that will make the surround frame on the board. Unfortunately, after I did the setup, I forgot to turn the camera back on and record it, so I cut it off camera. You're going to see the results in just a second, but sorry about that, kids. Well, that's a 4 1/2 inch hole saw, and I don't know if you used a larger hole saw, but they make some torque when they hit the material. So I took 10 minutes. I built a little jig here, just a piece of plywood, a couple things to hold it, clamp it down. I got my rear fence, so I don't want this to move at all, because this could really do some damage. I've got my speed on my drill press down to about 500 RPM, and that's 500 RPM off a 1/2 inch arbor. 500 RPM out here, what's that, another, so 4 1/2 inch, so another 2 1/4 inches out here on the diameter of this, 4.5 inches total. The speed at the tip multiplies many times. I don't know. Somebody might want to calculate that and post it in the comments. But you know, about 500 RPMs on a 1/2 inch shaft versus the speed out here when we're at 4.5 inches. It's substantial. So let's we're going to go slowly, and we're going to cut through this with this 4.5 inch bit. And there goes my light. Trying to give you guys some light here. Let's see if we can find someplace else to put this. Let's see if that will work. And we have our 4.5 inch hole. So we need one piece on this side, one piece on this side, and pieces to cross on the edge here which need to be cut. So to measure that, we'll put 2 of these together. We'll get it flush to this edge. Come across here with this one. And put a mark on it. I don't know what side I'm going to need. So I'll transfer that mark around it. Alright, so that's how much has to come off of this piece. And let's cut that off. Just going to use my bench hook here and a handsaw. This is very easy stuff to cut. There's one. And there's 2. Back in the picture here. Okay, so we want to do something like this. Bam. All right, let's get started. This is AZAC adhesive. I believe it is nothing more than the PVC cement you use for, PVC pipe for plumbing. Oh, that's stuck back on there. But I don't know that, and I didn't want to spend any time trying to figure that out. So I bought it. And we won't take any chances. But again, it looks just like the stuff that we use on PVC pipe. Smells like it, feels like it. I'm pretty confident it's the same stuff. And we just apply a liberal amount here, a little bit here to coat it. And I guess you could clamp it, but I like to just make a rub joint and hold it. It sets up pretty quickly, just like the PVC stuff. It's a little slippery at first, but once it bites, so I won't keep you through this entire hold down, but I'm going to hold it for two minutes. I'm going to take one of the side pieces here.
And put that on. Rub joint, let me get some glue on the end. Make sure we're watertight. It does not grip as quickly as the PVC cement for the PVC pipe. That stuff, you've got, 10 seconds to twist it to where you want it, and then it's done. This is more like, 2 minutes before you can't move it anymore. So maybe that's the difference, figuring in carpentry applications, you need a little more working time than with that PVC pipe, but this does take a little bit longer to set. And it takes 5 minutes, by the way, to be working, so you can work with it, and then of course 24 hours to fully cure. We're not putting anywhere near enough stress on this thing for anything like that to be of a concern. And I might be using too much, I don't even know. Try to get a thin coat there. Rub it. Forgot to do the end again. Pretty important in outdoor application that we keep that end sealed. Okay, we're going to let that cure for about 5 minutes and then come back and we'll clean up the glue and even off all the edges, make it look pretty. All right, let's bring this thing nice and flushed up. As you can tell, when I was gluing it up, I wasn't being overly cautious about aligning everything perfectly square, simply because it didn't matter. We can just plane everything flush right here. This stuff works similar to wood. Even takes a shaving, look at that. You just realize I'm planing backwards. There's no wood grain to chip out. There is no tear on this stuff. That's it. Only one more thing to do. We will chamfer the top. I'm calling that the top. There we go. Chamfer top, grip edge. One completed backing block for an exterior light. Made from Mazak. Well, I hope you found that video helpful, maybe a little entertaining, but I hope you enjoyed it. It's a lesson in using your skills as a creator, skills as a craftsperson, skills as a woodworker to overcome problems that the market can't solve for you. So in this case, it's an exterior light that we needed to get up, and the products in the market were hokey, but it could be anything. It could be anything. So next time around, keep that in mind. Get creative, put your skills to work, put your ideas to work, and go make something wonderful, because that's what we do. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. Much appreciated. If you like this video, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing. That would really help me out. Thanks, everybody.